Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Room Lounge podcast.
Welcome back to the lounge.
Whoa, what? You're in the lounge.
The lounge.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. It's good to see you, Davey.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Matt.
Have you been out and about at all?
Well, not really. It's been
Not
cold.
really?
Nah, not really.
Okay. We, I think the last episode I said I was going to Cavort.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. Very expensive.
Oh, yeah?
Very expensive.
Oh.
Not to say you can't go out and treat yourself to an expensive meal.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but the drinks were good. The food was pretty good. Highly recommend the crab ragoons.
Oh, okay.
And I got some sort of like sesame chicken burger.
Interesting.
It was essentially like a barbecue chicken burger, but it had it was like sesame chicken
Flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was pretty good. I think if I were to do it again, I would get it without the bun. The bun was just, the whole chicken was sloppy, so you could hardly eat it by your hands.
Oh, okay.
And I think I would just go without the bread.
Just knife and fork it?
Yeah, it's like putting a bunch of sesame chicken on a piece of white toast.
Oh, okay.
Or white bread, you know?
So it wasn't even like a burger. It was a chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Sesame chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty good, though. And then
Is it one of those places where they don't have the prices on the menu?
No, they had the prices. I think the drinks added up pretty quick.
Oh, that's always the kicker.
Yeah. And then plus a tip.
Yeah.
But then we ended up strolling over to the DAC FAC.
Oh.
Didn't care for it.
In the district.
No, they have one across the street from Kilkenny's.
Oh,
it's the old Shenanigans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right. I mean, I'm not... First of all, I got like some sort of frozen fruit punch drink. My teeth are so sensitive, Dave. I'm a little baby. I got little bitch teeth.
It's too cold.
Yeah. So I could hardly drink it. And then you just get brain freezes.
Yeah.
I do wish I would have gotten maybe something with ice cream instead. Maybe that would have been a little bit more my speed.
Okay.
But then...
I thought it was all like, well, daiquiris are frozen drinks?
Yeah,
generally?
like blended.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, yeah, I probably won't go back there.
Yeah, that's like a early 20s kind of place. That's why I was like, you were in the district?
Yeah. There was, I mean, when we showed up, there was a couple of older gentlemen enjoying a night out, and they had food.
Huh.
So maybe that's a thing to go there for, but it was all right at best.
Yeah. No, I haven't really been out and about. Did a Friendsgiving.
Oh.
Yeah, my old lady's sister had a bunch of friends over. And
okay. Your old lady's sister just invites everybody to your house?
No.
Or you went to her house?
I went to her house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it was just invite. That'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird.
Yeah. And that was all right. I mean, those kind of things are definitely less stressful than going to like a Thanksgiving with your family.
I could see that.
Even though, like, my family is pretty low key. It's not a huge deal, and usually don't have to cook anything. Mm-hmm. This time I had to make a ham. So
hey, that's all right. Ham is not hard to do.
No, and it helps that they all come pre-cooked pretty much.
Yeah, like all you have to do is warm it up in the oven.
Yeah, glaze it. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of cooking bird,
turkey,
chicken. I feel like there's a lot of room for error.
Yeah, because it dries out really easily.
Yeah.
Last time I did a turkey wasn't too bad. I think the secret is you have to put it in a brine overnight.
Ooh, brine.
Yeah, some salty water.
Salt water. Yeah, I didn't care for cutting it up, and then because I'm just not that kind of guy. I end up just like cutting all the bad parts off too, and then trying to eat them. And it's like,
yeah, I get that. I'm not too keen on which parts are edible and which parts aren't.
Yeah.
I know the legs are okay, and then like the breast, and then trying to cut any kind of other parts, it's like is this good or is this not?
Yeah, and then you get like maybe a little too close in and it's still like pretty pink.
Yeah, you get too close to the bone or something. Yeah.
That's something though.
Yeah.
Have you done many Friendsgivings?
No, this is the first one that I went to. I think they did one last year, but I was working, or the old lady was working. We just didn't go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you do anything? Your family lives out of
far
town?
Away. Yes. I think 2 years ago we went out there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was pretty chill, but it's always drive, visit this person, drive, visit this person, drive, visit this person, drive home. And then you're like, oh, I need a fucking vacation for my vacation.
Yeah.
And then we got Thanksgiving coming up this week. If you'll listen to the podcast.
On date of release?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the Monday before
Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you put on your Iron Maiden Run for the Hills.
Yeah.
What is there any good Thanksgiving movies? What about Addams Family 2?
Addams Family 2. It does have that good scene where they do the play about the first Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's a good one. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Oh, yeah. Is that John Candy?
Yeah, and
Steve Martin?
Yep.
Nice.
And they're trying to get
slam dunk.
Trying to get back home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like have you ever seen the movie Due Date?
Due Date.
With Iron Man and Zach Galifianakis?
No. It sounds funny though.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same movie, except in Due Date they're trying to get to his wife's gonna give birth.
Oh, okay.
But he starts on a plane, but then kicks off.
And Zach Galifianakis is the John Candy.
Yeah, it's the John Candy character. It's pretty much the exact same movie, except the premise is different.
Well, I'll have to watch them like one after another.
I'd watch Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, and then go watch Due Date and be like, "Oh, this is pretty much just like that movie." Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time I watched it. I'm like, it's good for because Zach Galifianakis is pretty good.
He is pretty good
actor.
Though his comedy specials are kind of hit or miss for me.
Yeah, they're that Andy Kaufman kind of comedy.
Yeah.
I'm going to just
do whatever I want.
Yeah, lay on the floor and then just push one key on the piano repeatedly until people nervously laugh.
Wish I could get away with that.
Yeah, it'd just be awkward.
Speaking of watching stuff, I'm watching Game of Thrones for the second time.
Yeah.
Run through. And there was a part in this gladiator arena and one of the guys got killed and it was super bloody. And then they're dragging the body off and the guy's throwing sand powder.
Sand powder?
What's that sand powder stuff called? Sawdust.
Sawdust. Wood powder.
Yeah, wood powder. Yeah. The guy comes out and just starts throwing sawdust down. But it reminded me of, have you ever heard of Hardcore History?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've listened to it.
Okay. I think I have all of the Blueprint for Armageddon, so maybe I'll try to give that to you someday.
Okay.
It's pretty long, so I'll just probably start out with one episode. It's 6-hour long episodes.
Yeah. He does deep dives, right?
Yeah, it's first of all, Blueprint for Armageddon is an amazing story. The way Dan Carlin tells it.
Yeah.
It goes everywhere from strategic army placements and how they're working their army to defeat the other ones, and then it zooms all the way into letters that people write back home to their families and stuff, and everything in between.
Oh, so it makes it a real personal story kind of.
Yeah, it's a great listen. But the one that I was reminded of is called Painful-tainment.
Painful-tainment.
Yeah, and it's all about how the history of entertaining through pain, everywhere from torture to beheadings. When there was a beheading, everybody in the town would come out to watch just because you got nothing better to do.
Right.
To gladiators. And he was saying that there's in history books, there's records of like 10 bears fighting 10 lions, and
Yeah.
then they send in 10 guys to fight whoever is left over, and it's some crazy stuff. But
Yeah. I heard a story about one emperor, like in Rome, who got 100 lions.
Ooh.
And then for some reason thought it would be entertaining for everybody to come in and watch him shoot arrows until every single lion was dead.
oh god,
I know. And just like,
and I bet they did.
yeah, but that would be like, you have to be really vain to be like, they want to see me shoot 100 lions. And if you don't get one right away, then you got to shoot it multiple times. And then, yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
The logistics of somebody like 1,000 years ago finding, transporting, and putting into a stadium 100 lions
Yeah.
is pretty impressive.
Yeah, because that'd be like a platoon of your army. They're like, oh, where are we going? You're going to Africa. For what? We need 100 lions.
For 1 day's worth of.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? Shooting 100 arrows.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to have gotten tired, right?
He might have started early and then ended like the next day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that even kind of translates. Sometimes if I'm bored and I can't find like a stimulating video, I'll go straight to fails. Like people,
Classic.
yeah, racking their nuts or like falling on ice.
Oh my gosh, my kid loves America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
And we were watching like a $10,000 episode. It was like the best of the best or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were watching it, and it's just, it cracks me up so bad to watch these people do these things.
Yeah.
And even just like the simple ones of like a dog running in a circle like for 30 seconds.
Right.
I don't know why, but that shit cracks me up.
Yeah, some of it's funny. Sometimes I like to go a little more serious and be like, oh, like expensive fails
Oh,
where like,
the trees fall on like the brand new work truck or something.
yeah, or they're like, there was one where they were sent to demolish one building, but they got the wrong address. So they demolished the completely wrong one.
Oh boy. That's kind of like something I put on the episode list. I had oil spills on there.
Oil spills.
But it could just be like man-made disasters, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of the interesting ones are like if you go for like dam failures.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Goddamn failures.
Yeah, because it's like,
Sound like goddamn?
yeah, damn. Because those are like, wow, that's devastating.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because luckily a lot of them are old.
Yeah.
Any new ones are from Cambodia or like Vietnam because they have a lot of wetlands and rivers and stuff, and so then they were trying to like dam them up to become like an energy hub for like South Asia.
Okay.
But they would do it like quickly and cheaply, and pay off regulators, and
Yeah, right.
they would just be like, here's the dam, it's almost built, and then it just like collapses, and people are like driving their cars out of the parking lot to get away from it and shit.
Their cars are like right below it.
Yeah, because I saw when it like slowly started going, and people were like going and going, and then like finally the last car got stuck and then swept down. I'm like, oh man,
Damn. God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fails are pretty funny.
yeah,
Also, take pride in your work.
yeah.
Do it the right way.
That's how I feel. Like even sometimes I'm not feeling going to work, but I'm like, I'm still gonna do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just won't do as much.
Or yeah, I don't know.
I'll do half the work, but good work.
Well, you still gotta,
Meet quotas.
well, not meet quotas, but you do the job, but you don't have to know who the CEO is or who the vice presidents of sales or who. Yeah. Because that's
Unless you're directly reporting to that person, you don't need to know who they are.
right. Because I'm always that person at work where somebody's like, "Oh, yeah, so and so something got promoted to the finance." I'm like, "Who is this? Who do I care?"
Who do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh, I watched a movie, Dave.
You did?
Yes. It was a British comedy. Do you like British comedy?
Some of it, yeah.
Is that Shaun of the Dead? Is that British?
Shaun of the Dead, like Mighty Python.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was called Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, but I was interested in it. It's from like 2000. No, it's from 2009. It came out the year my kid was born.
Okay.
It's got the guy, if you've ever seen the IT Crowd.
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Okay.
One of my favorite series. I've watched it at least 2 times. But it's got an Irish guy from the IT Crowd in it, and he's so funny. He was in one of the Thor movies.
All right.
Just as a short role.
Yeah.
But he plays a pretty significant role in this movie, and it was pretty good. It was about a couple of guys that kind of accidentally keep time traveling because there's like a time travel leak or something.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a villain, and then there's a hero girl that's like time police.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny.
So, what was it called?
I don't know. Rewind it.
Rewind it. Yeah.
Frequently asked questions about time travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one. Yeah, I like some of those old like British ones, or even like like the Shaun of the Dead and the Hot Fuzz and World's End.
World's End. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's one of my go-to.
Yes, you said that was one of your go-tos.
Yeah. Before we get to the meat and potatoes, if you could invite 5 people, alive, dead, or fictitious, to come to a Friendsgiving, who would you invite?
I would probably do, and like these are going to be kind of corny. I'd probably do like my dad and my grandfather on my mother's side.
Oh, okay.
2 guys that I really looked up to. Elvis for sure.
Yeah.
Do you already have your 5?
Maybe.
Oh, alive or dead, so I can pick an alive person.
Or fictitious.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who has like the long beard who like produces all the best albums?
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
The long beard, he produces all the best albums.
He's like got a long white beard.
Russell Simmons? Something like that.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Now you go.
Okay. Well, because I was thinking like people that are, because it would be a Friendsgiving. Yeah. Because of course I'd be family and whatever. Because I'd be like, I'd invite my mom. Like, I don't know. I'd probably be like Hunter Thompson.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. And then Jack Kerouac. Jim Morrison.
Oh.
And then, that's about as far as I got, I guess. Popeye. Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. That's a good one.
There
Dave.
we go. Yeah.
I'd do Elvis. Rick Rubin is the producer guy's name. I would pick Kermit the Frog.
He's cool.
Bender.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I have one more. I would pick, who's the ranger guy from Lord of the Rings? Aragorn. Yeah.
All right. That's an interesting one.
Oh yeah, we're getting fucked up.
Yeah. Especially Bender's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you're listening out there, go to the Facebook page. Just search Blue Ribbon Lounge Podcast and let us know what your 5 Friendsgiving people are.
Yeah.
Past, present, future.
Live, dead, fictitious.
Fake, fictitious.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see a cartoon there, though.
Yeah.
They'd always be 2D no matter which way you looked at them from.
Yeah. It's just like There was an episode of Futurama where they went into a 2D universe.
Yeah.
So they were all like, they couldn't pass each other. They had to go like over or under each other.
Oh.
Because you couldn't move in the second dimension.
Yeah.
And everybody looked like lines. So like if there was somebody standing behind you, I couldn't see them.
Yeah.
Because you're a line in the way.
Yeah. Oh, because you wouldn't see
around them.
Yeah.
Depth.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a good episode. The whole concept of the episode was like Tokyo Drift, except like the professor figures out a way how to drift into a fourth dimension.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe all of the racers can do it. I can't remember. But it is pretty funny.
It's interesting. Futurama has that smart kind of humor.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Makes you think.
I heard they were supposed to be bringing that back, but I don't know if they are or when.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they're bringing back Rick and Morty. I've heard that.
Which that hasn't at least ended 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Futurama like ended, and then they started doing movies for a minute.
Those movies were good.
Yeah, for the most part.
You son of a bitch! I'll come over this table.
Well, I think the last one I tried to watch was the Dungeons and Dragons one.
That is probably my 3rd favorite.
Yeah, I was like, that one was in the...
I wish it could be my 2nd favorite, but it's my 3rd favorite.
Thought it was going to be better.
Yeah. The first movie, Bender's Big Score, is good. That's the best one.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one, which is Into the Wild Green Yonder, that's the 2nd best one. Bender's Game, the Dungeons and Dragons ones, that's the 3rd one. And then Beast with a Billion Backs was the least good.
I think those are the 2 I saw. That's why I was like,
Beast with a Billion Backs and Bender's Game? No.
Yeah, that's maybe why I was like,
if you want to borrow the other 2, I got the whole collection. So.
Oh, of course you do.
But yeah, what a good flicks.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what? I'd have to change one of mine to be Gary Gygax, though I heard maybe he was a little racist.
Oh,
but a lot of people were back then.
I don't know. I think they say that because the way he portrayed the races in the game, where like, you know, the dwarves hate the elves, so then the dwarves end up being racist towards elves, and so then if you play the game, then you're kind of being
have to be a racist
have
somehow.
to act out racism,
and
kind of.
That's not to get all nerdy on you folks, but I listened to a guy. I think you turned me on to him, maybe. Mike Shea from Sly Flourish.
Okay.
But he always talks about breaking character stereotypes, like not all orcs have to be bad. You know, maybe there's a camp of goblins and all they do is farm and they're just not trying to hurt nobody. They're just trying to live.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of a interesting idea.
I like to do that sometimes, but then sometimes you just need them to be little bastards to
yeah, sometimes you just
set up ambushes to steal your money.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to know who the bad guys are.
Yeah, or just like, change them up somehow.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been since we did?
It has been a long time.
Like a year.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Thinking.
What a bummer.
Maybe try to do another Christmas one shot or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You care if I do a Curse of Strahd one shot?
A Christmas Strahd one shot?
Curse of Strahd? A Ravenloft one shot?
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Like
You'll be in it.
But we did that one time?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing it for Easter.
Oh, okay. Zombie.
Yeah. But also a Christmas Strahd would be a funny one.
Yeah.
Christmas themed Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Go to your creepy vampire uncle's castle for Christmas.
Well, the way he hangs out over the town of Barovia on a mountain.
He's a real Grinch.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Should we get into some meat and potatoes, Dave?
Sure.
I literally don't have anything else to talk about. I just gave you all of my entire 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's even been a full 2 weeks.
No, because we recorded the last one a little early or late.
Late.
Yeah.
Like literally the Saturday before it came out.
Yeah, I'm surprised I got it out.
Yeah. That's when I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
You thought this was a submission?
Yeah.
By who?
I don't know.
Come on, Dave.
It was in your handwriting.
Yes.
It was a tack-on one. In your handwriting.
I thought it was you.
No.
Did you not know who this guy was beforehand?
No, I had to look him up because you even were like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's a guy that
we're gonna give this one to Alejo.
Alejo.
Yeah.
Okay.
From work.
Yeah, I know who Alejo is.
Thanks for the submission, Alejo.
Yeah, it's good job, Alejo.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably wasn't you. Dale Graff.
Yes.
I have to remember to. I'm gonna just change the spelling. I put graph like a
Graff.
pie chart.
Yeah, Graph.
That's what I wrote.
That's what I had too.
I'll probably put it down in the show title wrong on accident if I don't change it now.
Yeah, it's Giraffe.
Giraffe. Scratching on the Giraffe.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my rapper name.
Giraffe.
Yeah, and I'll stretch my neck out real long.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Or you just put your neck out for people. I'm Giraffe.
Yeah.
Put my neck out for you.
Dale Graff.
Yes.
Born 1934.
1934?
Oh, no. Yeah, born in the year of 1940. Dale Graff. Born in rural Pennsylvania, December 1934. That guy's old.
Yes.
He lived on a farm with no electricity, Dave. Imagine growing up in the middle of nowhere with no electricity.
I can imagine it, but that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, and also he was he was born like super premature.
Yeah.
He was like 1 pound.
Oh.
Yeah, super premature. And I think he said that they just pronounced him dead when he came out.
Really?
And yeah, for 1934 being super premature like that, that's a miracle you're alive.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you say 34, rural Pennsylvania, I'm not surprised they didn't have electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's crazy.
I mean, what was that? Hopkinsville.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 60s? They didn't have electricity. The Hopkinsville.
I thought they had electricity.
Hopkinsville encounter.
Maybe they didn't.
Well, they didn't have running water because the guy had to go to the well. So now you're making me question the
I think they had
thing.
electricity. I don't think they had water. I think you're right
Okay.
about that one. So he grew up on a farm, working as you do. Ended up going to Penn State University, got his degree in aeronautical engineering.
Yeah.
Then he went to Drexel University in Philadelphia to get his master's in physics.
Yeah. It says he was things you just said. Engineer, an aerospace engineer, and a physicist.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are some good degrees.
Yeah.
It makes him seem credible.
Right. If you have degrees like that.
Yeah. But I mean, what is a degree? Just a piece of paper, huh?
Right. It says that you can stick with something for at least 4 years.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I've never asked a doctor to see his credentials.
Right.
I don't know if they're truly licensed. Any doctor I've ever gone to.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like that established titles. Have you heard of that?
Where you do something for so long, you just become it or something?
No. You send them money and supposedly they buy you a foot of land, square foot of land. And if you own land in Ireland,
okay,
you can become a lord or lady.
Oh, okay.
But with that money, are you actually getting the land, or are they just printing up a piece of paper saying you're a lord or lady?
You're paying for a piece of printed paper because the taxes would end up adding up to where they would be losing money.
Yeah.
Or they're reselling the same lands.
They could, because I mean, if you went there with your certificate and were like, I am Lord Dave, like they'd be like,
Lord Dave of the podcast.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe if you get like a free driver's license or something.
You still got to pay for the printing.
Yeah.
You can just go buy one of those fake driver's licenses with a celebrity on it.
Yeah. Or just print out a fake I'm a Lord thing and put it on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make it, and it'd be way cheaper.
Yeah. Well, it's like that star registry thing too. Like, get a star named after you. Like,
why?
Right. But if you go to like the Smithsonian and you look, say they had like a big book of stars, could you find your name in there? Like, would it be legit?
No. It would have to be digital because you would, it would always be changing, right? They would always be adding.
Yeah.
And I bet they call most stars and planets like Z135.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's like you're Z135, and then in like parentheses, it's like Dave or dog butt.
Dog butt 69.
Yeah. So then I wonder if you go to NASA and then you type in the star number, if it'll pop up and be like 0 blur alpha, in quotes, dog butt 69, or if it's just not. They're like, no.
I would bet, because really you're just paying for like a pamphlet to say
that you have that star.
Yeah. And it's probably printed with the same image
Yeah.
on all of them.
That's what I feel like when my grandma, she would donate money to like the kids in Africa.
Yeah.
And they'd send you a picture of the kid because she had it in her cupboard. And I'm like, how many other people have that same picture?
Image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird line.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're talking about Dale Graff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So do you have anything from after his college?
Yes. Would you prefer to go?
Well, I don't know. I just got up to the Stargate. Was there anything previous to that?
So right out of college, right after getting his aeronautical engineering degree, he became an aerospace engineer. And worked on the Gemini space program, which was like the first unmanned capsule in orbit. Yeah. I don't know if it was manned or unmanned, but it was one of the first space programs.
Yeah, I think it was unmanned.
Okay.
More I think like shooting satellites and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it was one of the first couple of satellite type deals.
Yeah, because I think the other ones, Apollos, were manned.
Oh, okay.
So Gemini was before that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So he did that for a while, and then finally got his master's in physics.
Yeah.
And then moved to working with the Foreign Technology Division of the government in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, is that the
starting to creep up there?
Advanced Concepts Office?
Close. Wait.
Because it was like foreign.
Yes, it was the Advanced Concepts thing. It was like this job worked his way into the Advanced Concepts, I think.
Okay.
What they were doing was they were trying to figure out what the Soviet Union was trying to develop.
Yeah, and I think that's DARPA.
Okay.
I think it's a branch of that.
Okay.
'Cause that's all like research and development kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's the job where he came to find information on Russia working with ESP.
Yeah.
So he wrote up a report on that and submitted it to his superiors, and they told him to continue to follow the research.
Yeah.
Before creating a program that he ended up being a part of.
Yeah. The Stargate?
Yes.
Which, if you go all the way back in the Wayback Machine to episode 1,
oh yeah,
remote viewing, we have a whole episode about that whole program.
Yeah. Did you re-listen to it?
No, and it makes me wonder if this guy's name came up in that episode.
I was thinking that too, and I meant to re-listen to it. I am so bad at listening to the things I create.
Yeah. I mean, I'll listen to it once, sometimes twice,
and I usually listen to it when I edited it.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I don't know if I've ever talked about editing the podcast on the podcast, but whenever like we say some fucking dumb stuff,
yeah,
it's like you say something, I say something, I'm wearing the headphones listening to it, and I laughed. And then immediately after that, we laugh on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's always so funny. But yes,
Yeah.
throwback to that episode. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out.
Yeah. But for some reason, this name doesn't ring a bell. But
It didn't ring a bell to me either.
yeah. But he was the director of the Stargate project?
Director, I thought he was something else. The contract manager.
Maybe. Because,
I know he was the director and vice president of IRVA,
what?
the International Remote Viewing Association.
Yeah. On sciunit.com, it says that he was
SciWiki.com.
right. He was a past director of the Stargate program.
Okay.
And on Wikipedia, when you look up the Stargate program, he's only mentioned once.
Really?
And it does say that he was the director because he found Rosemary Smith. He recruited Rosemary Smith when he was the director of the Stargate program. And Rosemary Smith was the only successful remote viewer in the whole program. Because in 1976, a Russian spy plane went down in the Congo. And the government...
Well, and it was a Russian plane, but it was owned by, like, I want to say baklava, but that's a dessert.
Yeah.
But it was owned by somebody else. It's like how the Taliban had AK-47s.
Yeah, it was like a Tu-22
Okay.
or 222. But yeah, it might have been like you were saying, because I saw some articles that said it was like a commuter plane, but it was full of spy equipment kind of thing. And they couldn't, using their satellites, they couldn't get a trajectory on it to see where it was. So then they went to Rosemary and like gave her a map of it, and she did a remote viewing like trance and started spewing off coordinates, and sure as shit, when they looked it up in the satellite, they could see it. And the reason they couldn't see it at first is because it was covered with jungle canopy. Yeah, but they were able to see part of it and be like, oh.
So the story I got, and I heard this in an interview with Dale Graff.
Oh, okay.
So I was texting you today, and I was like, dude, I cannot find anything about this Dale Graff cat. And it was because I was spelling his name like a graph.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I started typing it in correctly, I got some pretty good stuff.
A couple hits.
Yeah. So, yeah, from what I had heard, he was the contract manager, and that's probably just like terminology differences, because a director seems like somebody who would be doing a lot more of the paperwork and stuff.
Well, a director sounds like somebody who watches over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Contract manager sounds like, yeah, he found this Rosemary and was like, well, I'll write you up a contract for you to sign.
Well, I think it was contracting between the employees and the government.
Oh, like a contractor, like when you build a house.
Yeah, kind of
you got
like
a contractor and a subcontractor. Okay.
But he was talking about he didn't really have, like, he said that he wasn't a remote viewer per se. So he was saying that doing their books and stuff, he tried to stay kind of back from the actual work.
Yeah.
But in this instance, so all the stuff he was doing was super classified, you know, but he was working in a building with office gossip and stuff like that. And this Rosemary gal worked in the same building or maybe for the same department, but just not had the clearance and stuff like that for what he was doing.
Yeah.
So she got a hold of a little bit of this classified information, but came to him and was like, hey, I think I can do this.
Oh,
and so that's how she started. And then he was talking about when she located the helicopter, it was more along the lines of, he didn't want to know anything about the project.
Right.
So that he didn't like cross-contaminate kind of.
Or spill the beans.
Yeah. And so him and Rosemary didn't really know anything except it was a Russian plane.
Yeah.
And so their first remote viewing, she got like kind of pretty close.
Yeah.
And they were like, this looks promising, so we want you to do it again. And they were like, yeah, sure. And then she remote viewed again and got them the coordinates. And from what I had heard is the helicopter is like flying into the jungle to pick up these spy equipment or whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. But as they were landing, they saw a native guy and he had a piece of the plane in his hand.
Yeah.
So they were like, you take us to where you got that. And so it was kind of like almost a circumstantial type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, if nothing else, right place at the right time is maybe more than just luck.
Yeah. I mean, and she probably got him close enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I also heard that Jimmy Carter actually went on record to be like, yeah, I didn't know anything about it, but we did use a psychic to find the plane. And yeah, but he was like, I have no idea. He was in the dark kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like what?
Which is, what else are they doing?
Yeah. But that's a plausible deniability, I think.
Yeah.
Where you just don't want to know because, hey.
Yeah. Was that MI6? Not MI6. What was that episode we did on babies getting thrown into parallel universes?
Montauk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably had a ton of plausible deniability.
Right. Nobody knew what was going on over there. Yeah. And I guess you were saying that he wasn't a remote viewer, but now I don't know when he got into it.
Well, before we get there, just really quick. So in 1986, when the Cold War was coming to an end, the government did eliminate the Stargate project because it was just one of the smaller projects.
Yeah,
they were just cutting costs, so it did get eliminated in 1989.
Yeah, and that's the one that had a bunch of different names like Grill Flame or Gondola Rush or
Gondola.
Because the one when we did episode 1, I don't feel like we were calling it Stargate Project. And it wasn't Blue Book because that's aliens.
Yeah.
But it was called something else.
Maybe you're right about that Grill Flame.
Yeah, I know that one for sure was one. And then Gondola, and then some other word. Well,
I don't really have much more.
Yeah, like
you were talking about what he was doing. He's not a remote viewer.
He wasn't a remote viewer, and then
per se.
After it closed down, and some of these other guys from the project started coming out and speaking about it, and going on Coast to Coast with Art Bell.
Oh yeah,
and I think he was on it, and they wrote a couple books, Tracks into the Psychic Wilderness.
In 1998.
And River Dreams.
In 2000.
Yeah, and since then he's just been hitting up the circuit, the like...
Flat Earth circuit.
Convention circuit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I watched a couple things.
A space convention would be cool.
There's one coming up, I think this weekend.
Oh, really? Where?
Well, by the time it comes out, it'd be past... But it's in the Quad Cities. Yeah, it's a paranormal thing, expo.
Oh, okay.
It's like the 14th and 15th, I think.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Probably won't go, but...
I want to try to go so I can have some content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Try to get out and about?
Yeah, because I haven't been lately. But yeah, the two videos I saw, one was him, and he's really into... remote dreaming.
Yes.
Well,
I think he calls it precognitive dreaming.
Yeah, because he was precognitive dreaming or remote viewing dreaming, or and he was saying like in remote viewing, when you're conscious, you have to try to remove your conscious mind from the situation and just let your visions go. And he's like, well, when you're sleeping, you already got your conscious mind out of the way, so it's an easier way to do it. And the couple things that he was talking about is you have to set like an expectation.
Or like an intention.
An intention, yeah, that's the word.
He said that a lot of times he uses the phrase like, tonight I desire to
Yeah.
blank.
Yeah, because he had one. He was doing a seminar and he gave out a packet, with this mantra thing, like tonight, and then he had an envelope with a picture in it that was double sealed, and it was like envelope AE087. Excuse me. And he was saying that he just gave it some number so that it was something that they could focus on, and that their job, because it was like on a Monday and then the rest of the seminar was on a Friday.
Okay.
And he's like, over the next couple days or nights, be like, tonight I want to dream about the contents of envelope AE807. And then he said you could do it either by trying to be psychic about it or trying to have a premonition of what's in it, or you could try to do it like seeing yourself in the future walking into the room for when he revealed what was in there and try to see it that way. So, because a lot of the stuff he talks about is like how dreams can be like windows to the future. But anything that, well, I guess he does kind of talk about some stuff, but a lot of the stuff he'll like draw a picture and then be like, okay, well, this event happened, and on the wall was the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
He's pointing out stuff from the basement.
Yeah, but he'll like, his picture would be like, oh, it's a blue flower. And then he'll be like, oh, but if you look, it could also be a blue ribbon.
Oh.
Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounded like he's really into drawing instead of writing. And he was doing, as a test, he was using the newspaper jumble comic puzzle.
Okay.
Where it's like a set of 4 words, and they're all jumbled up, so you have to figure out what the words are. And then the comic strip has like circled letters from the jumbles that make up a phrase. Ringing a bell at all?
Do you know how a jumble works? No.
You know how a jumble works.
The ones that I've seen, it's like, yeah, you got the 4 words, but then there's letters that are circled, and then the comic will be like a guy running in the door, and it's like, what you say when you're late for dinner or something, and then you figure out the jumbles, and then the circled letters you have to unjumble to figure out the answer to sorry honey or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
I think that's almost exactly what I said.
You said in the picture there's circled letters.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Dave.
I know.
But yes.
When it comes to precog dreaming, you have to be specific.
So he was doing this for like every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I got some pictures here. So on the left side there, it's got on the left side, it's got like a summary of his dream.
Yeah.
And then the middle is the sketch of his dream. And on the right hand, the jumble cartoon.
Yeah, because he also says, like, he does the drawing, but he also was saying in his seminar, if you just write down some keywords real quick and then later go back and, like, go in depth in your journal or your notebook about what happened. But on this, it says, someone in dark green clothes, trays of food, and he's like tan, brown, rectangular, green vegetables, and he's like someone dipping or picking up, and then he drew a picture of a green guy and some like
boxes,
like TV dinner looking things, and then sure enough, in the comic is a lady in green, and they're somebody getting into the fridge, and another guy like lifting up the cover on some leftovers on the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it looks pretty much like what he was talking about.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of these that I screenshot off of this interview. So if I remember, I'll try to put them up on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Did you show the one where it was where he drew the picture of the 2 people and then some weird, like a square with weird hieroglyphs in it? But then it ended up, the picture that he was thinking of, or that ended up being, was like a bunch of like Indian people like sitting in a protest against some kind of like Russian something, but their like banner was in I guess it's Indian. Is that what they speak over there? In India?
Hindu?
Hindu?
That Hindu that you do?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Whatever they speak.
But yeah, he had a couple of pictures like that.
Okay.
But then one of them I did see where he just said it looked like Tetris pieces. And then he showed the picture and he's like, well, it's not the same, but if you can see this as a table, and then if you look at how the bookshelf is there and how that picture is on the wall, and he's like, it kind of fits up with these like shapes that I drew.
Well, and also like how many times was he completely wrong?
Right, yeah. And some of that stuff too is like that one you showed me was pretty eerie, like eerily similar. But then how many times can you have a dream? Because like I've kind of done this before, where you'll have a dream and you remember it, and you'll be like, "Oh, I had a dream that I was like skidding out on snow and hit a mailbox," and then later you're like, you
hope
almost
that
slip.
Dream doesn't go true.
Yeah, but maybe you slip and grab your mailbox, and you're like, "Oh, this is just like my dream," but it's not really like your dream.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, there are grains of salt with everything.
Yeah. It's just different when because you can kind of cultivate having dreams, especially if you try to remember them, you can kind of get that synapses to fire.
Are you a big dreamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you dream a lot?
Especially in November. They're like super vivid. I'm like, oh man.
I was taking this magnesium supplement. It was like a stress reducer, help you sleep type thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I was having the craziest dreams. It was like I was on acid in my dreams all the time.
Yeah.
Every time I took it.
Well, yeah, no fun November, like just having nothing to like interrupt your synapses while you're sleeping. It's like, it's pretty vivid, crazy dreams.
So Dale Graff says that most people can dream the future if they practice and try hard enough.
Yeah.
So having that intention and that mantra, also keeping a journal next to your bed, so if you wake up, you can immediately write it down.
Journal helps. I've never kept one, but if you wake up...
Dave only keeps diaries.
Well, not like a dream journal, but like it also helps if when you wake up, you think about it, you try to bring it back. You have to like, because dreams are weird, because sometimes they'll be starting to fade away, but you can kind of be like, okay, there was a sink. I remember there's a sink. I was looking in a mirror, and then you can slowly like pull them back to you.
I bet it's like lifting weights. You know, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
Setting the intentions. He also said that when you start, there may be a lot of like dream clutter that you have to get past. Like he was saying, a lot of times common dreams are like anxieties that you have, or like wishes that you want. Like if you're, single and you want to date your best friend, and then you have a bunch of dreams about her, you know what I mean? Or whatever. But so there's a lot of things like that you may have to get past before you start really having important dreams, or meaningful dreams.
Right. And he also was saying that the last part of your dream is maybe the more meaningful one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's when you're, I don't know if it's like you're closer to being awake, or closer to like getting all the clutter out of the way, and then the last part is like usually the more meaningful part.
Kind of like Inception.
Kinda, I guess.
I guess. And also he was talking about in another interview, I was watching him on, he was talking about like chakras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like energies. And I'm kind of a woo-wee guy like that. I like that kind of talk. But I could see how this could kind of be part of that. You know what I mean?
Chakras.
Yeah, like focusing your energies.
Yeah.
And, you know, doing things that maybe seem almost impossible.
Right.
Like healing with good vibes.
Yeah, and it's kind of like meditating, because you set your intention, and then
meditating is like supposed to be super good for you.
Yeah, and then you can also have like if you have like a mantra that you repeat, like I want to know what's in this envelope tonight. I want to dream what's in this envelope tonight. I want to dream what's in this envelope tonight. I want to dream what's in this envelope, like that kind of thing. Because it almost would have to be like that, because you can set your intention, but then if your mind starts thinking about work and then this, or like I should have said that to Bill when he said I was a turd, like, and then you drift off to sleep, then maybe your brain is not set on that intention that you had.
Yeah.
Instead, you have a dream about digging up D&D books and smacking that guy in the head.
Digging up. Just could you imagine just like digging a hole in your yard and just finding a bunch of D&D books or something weird?
Yeah, I've had dreams like that.
That would be a cool prank, as if I buried a bunch of random books in my yard.
Yeah. For the next people, like, what? Yeah. But no, have you ever had a dream like that where like say you're dreaming and you're at work and you find a closet full of like Pepsis and you're like, oh shit, and you're like stuffing them in your bag and you're like, this is great, but then when you wake up you're like, fuck, I don't have those Pepsis.
I don't have those Pepsis.
I wish I had all those Pepsis, damn it.
You go to work the next day and look in that closet and you're like, damn, no Pepsis.
Oh, fucking janitor.
He took all those damn Pepsis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had on the guy. It was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got anything else, Dave.
No.
I don't want to cut you off.
No. Like I said, it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't like one of those dudes from like Montauk.
Yeah. I wonder if his name was just in that episode and we just kind of brought it up. But that was so long ago, and it was like an add-on to the list.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, unless somebody heard like an interview with them and like, oh, this guy's interesting. I wonder if there's more. And
yeah, hey, if you're listening out there and this was your suggestion, thanks a lot. Let us know. But until you step forward, the credit's going to Alejo.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you got anything else? You said no.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
He just seems like a person you go to a convention to see, or like maybe there'd be like a remote viewing dream kind of seminar.
He's kind of like a older Neil deGrasse Tyson type character. A little more like woo-woo with predicting the future and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy's got credentials, and he's done a lot of cool work. So it was interesting to see the kind of work that he did.
Yeah, but I would say that listening to 25 minutes of him seems like 40 minutes.
Man, I listened to this one interview with him, and it was all the stuff of like his birth and where he lived and his schooling. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's very monotone.
Yeah,
and
and pretty long-winded.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting. It wasn't somebody you'd think to normally look up, but Dale Graff, everybody.
Dale Graff, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for your hard work. You're an American treasure.
Right. Thanks for helping find the lady who found the plane.
Well, that's all I got, Dave. Thanks everybody for listening. I hope you have a good holiday. Happy holidays. Don't eat too much, but eat what you want. Tell your families we said hello.
Yes.
Hello, families.
Hello, families.
And you be good to yourselves.
And remember this holiday, don't pull your uncle's finger.
See ya.
See ya.
I mean,
turtle shell?
I can fix pretty much everything in post, so. Oh, what's this here?
It says, you cannot fix this in post.